Beloved, today I have come with a prophetic declaration over your life. The wait is over. The season of uncertainty, the season of lack, the season of feeling forgotten, it is finished. Because God is stepping in to prove His love for you in a way that no man can deny. There comes a time in every believer's life when the waiting season feels endless. You have prayed, fasted, stood in faith, and yet it seemed like heaven was silent. You have watched others receive their breakthroughs while you remained in the same place, asking, Lord, when will it be my turn? But today I declare to you with boldness and certainty, your season of waiting has ended. The delays, the struggles, and the unanswered prayers were never a sign of God's absence, but rather His preparation for something far greater than you imagined. Now the time of manifestation has come, and nothing can stop what God is about to do in your life. Every great move of God is preceded by a season of waiting. Look at the life of Joseph. He had dreams of greatness, but before he could walk in them, he had to endure betrayal, false accusations, and imprisonment. Was God absent? No. He was positioning Joseph, shaping his character, and preparing him for a level of influence he could not yet handle. And when the time was right, in a single day, Joseph was pulled from the prison and placed in the palace. What seemed like years of delay was actually divine orchestration, ensuring that when the promise came, it was permanent. The same is true for you. The struggles you have faced were never a sign that God had forgotten you. In fact, they were the very evidence that He was working behind the scenes, developing the strength, wisdom, and resilience you would need to carry the blessing. You see, God does not release abundance into unprepared hands. He does not pour new wine into old wineskins. He takes His time molding you, because what He is about to release into your life is not small. It is not temporary. It is not something that will come today and disappear tomorrow. No, He is preparing you for something permanent, something that will not just bless you, but impact generations. Many times what we call a delay is actually God's way of protecting us. Have you ever considered that if certain doors had opened earlier, they might have destroyed you? There were opportunities you wanted, but if you had received them too soon, they would have overwhelmed you. There were relationships you prayed for, but God knew they would have led you away from your destiny. There were places you desired to go, but He saw the dangers ahead and redirected your steps. What you thought was denial was actually divine protection. And now that the season has shifted, what God has prepared for you is about to be revealed at the appointed time. When a farmer plants a seed, he does not expect a harvest the next day. He knows that the seed must remain in the soil, hidden from sight, while it undergoes a process of transformation. The roots must grow deep before the plant can rise. The stronger the foundation, the greater the fruit. And just like that seed, your waiting season was necessary to establish a foundation that cannot be shaken. The trials strengthened your faith, the disappointments refined your trust, and the setbacks prepared you for a comeback that will leave no doubt that it was God who elevated you. Now the time of manifestation has come. The doors that were once closed are opening without effort. The people who overlooked you will soon see the undeniable hand of God upon your life. The opportunities that seemed out of reach will now find you. The favor that was delayed is now being released in full measure. The things you have prayed for are no longer distant promises. They are becoming your reality. And when God moves, He does it in a way that no man can take credit for. This is the moment when everything changes. The very circumstances that once worked against you are now aligning in your favor. The enemies who tried to block you will stand in awe as God prepares a table before you. The years you thought were wasted will be restored with interest. Every tear you cried in secret will be answered with a joy that cannot be contained. The divine shift has begun, and nothing can stop what God is releasing into your life. God's love is not just a concept or a promise spoken in words. It is a force that moves, manifests, and transforms lives. Throughout history, we see that whenever God declares His love for His people, He follows it with undeniable proof. He is not a man that He should lie, nor does He make empty declarations. His love is active, powerful, and unshakable. Today you are standing on the edge of a divine revelation because God is about to prove to you that He has never abandoned you. His favor is now upon you, and what He is about to do in your life will leave no doubt that you are chosen, loved, and highly favored. Think about the children of Israel. They suffered under the heavy hand of Pharaoh for 400 years. They cried out, and for a time it seemed as if heaven was silent. But when the appointed time came, God did not simply send them words of comfort. He demonstrated His love with signs, wonders, and miracles that shook the foundations of Egypt. He turned water into blood, sent plagues to break the grip of their oppressors, parted the Red Sea, and led them through the wilderness with divine provision. Every step of the way, His love was proven by His actions. And just as He did for them, He is about to do for you. You have walked through seasons where you felt forgotten. You have carried burdens that no one else saw. You have fought battles in silence, wondering if God was still with you. But hear this today. His love never left you. The enemy wanted you to believe that God had abandoned you, that He had overlooked your prayers, that He was blessing others while you struggled. But now the truth will be revealed. God has been working behind the scenes, and His favor is about to be displayed in your life in a way that no one can deny. When God chooses to bless, He does it publicly. He does it in such a way that even your enemies will have to acknowledge that it was Him. He is about to open doors that no man can shut, pour out opportunities that no one can block, and release favor that no force of darkness can stop. This is not just about material blessings. This is about a spiritual shift, a divine turnaround, and a complete restoration of everything you thought was lost. Look at the life of Job. He was a man who loved God, yet he went through a season of intense suffering. He lost his wealth, his health, and even his children. His friends questioned him, and his own wife told him to curse God and die. But Job remained faithful, and when the time came, God proved His love by restoring everything Job had lost, not just in equal measure, but double for his trouble. The very people who doubted Him had to witness His elevation. This is what God is about to do for you. He is going to prove that His love was with you even in the storm, even in the wilderness, even in the dark moments when you felt alone. He is turning the pain into purpose, the rejection into redirection, and the struggle into supernatural success. The favor that is coming upon you is not small, not temporary, not ordinary. It is divine. It is an overflow, an abundance, a life-altering manifestation of His goodness. Get ready, because what is coming will silence every doubt. The same people who questioned where God was in your life will now have to acknowledge that He was there all along. Every battle you fought in private will now be rewarded in public. Every tear you cried in secret will be exchanged for joy beyond measure. The time has come for God to demonstrate His love for you in ways you never imagined. His favor is now upon you, and nothing can stop what He is about to do. When God blesses, He does not bless halfway. His abundance is not limited to financial wealth alone. It extends to every area of life. His plan is not just to make you rich in material possessions, but to establish you in wholeness, in strength, in peace, and in divine purpose. True richness is not measured by the numbers in your bank account, but by the fullness of God's presence in your life. What He is about to do for you will touch every part of your existence. Your mind, your spirit, your relationships, your opportunities, and yes, even your finances. There are people who have money but no peace. They have wealth but are spiritually empty. They have influence but lack joy. That is not the kind of blessing God has for you. He does not just want to give you riches. He wants to give you richness. The richness that comes from Him includes wisdom, favor, and protection. It includes divine connections, open doors, and supernatural opportunities that no one can steal from you. When God blesses, He adds no sorrow to it. There is no anxiety, no fear of losing it, no stress of maintaining it, because it is established by Him and sustained by His grace. Look at Solomon. He did not just ask for riches, he asked for wisdom. And because he sought God first, he received more than wealth. He received divine insight, influence, and peace. His kingdom was one of abundance in every way. He had stability, security, and favor that reached far beyond financial success. This is what God desires for you, an overflow that is not limited to money, but a life marked by wisdom, understanding, and supernatural prosperity. Richness in life means that you walk in spiritual authority. You are not tossed around by circumstances, but you stand firm in faith. It means that your mind is at peace. You are not troubled by fear, doubt, or anxiety. It means that your relationships are healthy, full of love, full of joy, and built on divine purpose. It means that your body is strong, your health is restored, and your days are filled with energy and purpose. This is the kind of total life, prosperity that God is bringing into your life. Many people chase after money, thinking it will solve all their problems, but wealth without wisdom is dangerous. Riches without righteousness can lead to destruction. That is why God is not just blessing you financially, He is positioning you to handle abundance with wisdom and integrity. The wealth that is coming into your life will not control you, you will control it. You will not be a slave to money. Money will serve the purpose God has placed within you. God is opening doors that no man can shut. He is placing you in rooms where your name has already been spoken. He is aligning you with people who will push you into your destiny. The opportunities that are coming will not be temporary, they will be generational. You will not only be blessed, but you will become a blessing. Your success will not just be about you, it will create impact, change lives, and leave a legacy. This is not just about what is coming to you, but about what God is doing within you. He is expanding your capacity, increasing your wisdom, and sharpening your discernment. The doors that are opening now will require a new level of faith, a new mindset, and a heart that remains focused on Him. He is making you rich in spirit, rich in wisdom, rich in relationships, and rich in divine opportunities. Get ready for a life of abundance in every area. The struggle is over. The lack is being replaced with overflow. The confusion is being exchanged for clarity. The broken relationships are making way for divine connections. The missed opportunities are being restored with even greater ones. This is not just an increase. This is a divine transformation. The richness of God is coming upon you, and nothing can stop what He is about to release into your life. Faithfulness is the key that unlocks the fullness of God's blessing. The journey has not been easy, and there were times when you felt unseen, unappreciated, and overlooked. But God saw every moment of obedience, every act of trust, every time you chose faith over fear, and every sacrifice you made when no one was watching. Your endurance has not been in vain. Your patience has not been wasted. What you have been faithful with in little, God is now multiplying before your very eyes. The principle of the kingdom is clear. He who is faithful with little will be given much. Luke 16:10. This is not just about finances. This is about stewardship over everything God has placed in your hands. Your time, your talents, your relationships, your spiritual gifts. You did not waste the season of waiting. Instead, you remained steadfast. And now God is positioning you for supernatural increase. What was once small is about to become mighty. What once looked insignificant is about to gain influence. What seemed delayed is about to be delivered in double portion. Think about David. Before he was a king, he was a shepherd. He was faithful in the field before he ever sat on the throne. He fought lions and bears in private before he ever faced Goliath in public. His faithfulness in the unseen moments prepared him for the greatness that God had already planned for him. And when the time was right, God elevated him in a way that no man could deny. This is what is happening in your life. Your faithfulness in the small things has prepared you for the great things that are now unfolding. Many people desire elevation, but they do not want to endure the process. They want the blessing without the preparation, the promotion without the testing. But God rewards those who endure. He blesses those who remain steadfast when others give up. You have passed the test of faithfulness, and now you are stepping into fulfillment. Every time you obeyed when it was hard, every time you trusted when you could not see the way, every time you prayed when you felt like giving up, it has all been storing up a harvest that is now being released. When God multiplies, He does not just add, He increases beyond measure. He is not just going to restore what you lost, He is going to give you more than you had before. He is going to bless you in such a way that people will ask, how did this happen? And the only answer will be God's faithfulness. The very things that seemed out of reach before will now come looking for you. Opportunities will chase you down. Favor will go ahead of you. Open doors will be waiting for you before you even arrive. This is what it means to be chosen. Not everyone can handle the blessing that is coming. Not everyone has the endurance to wait for God's perfect timing. But you have been faithful, and now God is fulfilling His promise. You are stepping into a season where what you once dreamed of will now be your reality. Where you once labored, you will now reap. Where you once fought battles, you will now walk in victory. God is multiplying what you have been faithful with. He is taking what seemed small and making it great. He is taking what was hidden and bringing it into the light. The time of struggle is turning into a time of supernatural supply. This is not just an increase. This is a divine shift. The fulfillment of everything you have prayed for, everything you have believed for, and everything you have been faithful with is now manifesting in your life. The wait is over, the reward is here. Get ready for more than you ever imagined. When God moves, nothing can stand in His way. When He speaks, His word does not return void. When He opens a door, no man, no enemy, no system, no force in hell can shut it. What is happening in your life right now is not by human effort, not by your own strength, and not by the approval of people. This is a divine move of God. Every opposition that tried to stop you, every obstacle that stood in your way, and every enemy that plotted against you will now see the power of God at work. This is your season of unstoppable breakthrough. For too long you have been pushing against closed doors. You have knocked and it seemed like no one answered. You have tried, but the way forward was blocked. But now God Himself is stepping in. The doors that were locked are about to swing open, not by your power, but by His divine authority. When God opens the door, it is permanent. No one can manipulate it, no one can sabotage it, no one can take it from you. What is yours has already been sealed in heaven, and now it is being released on earth. Look at Joseph. He was thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, falsely accused and locked in prison. But every attempt to stop him was only part of God's setup. The very chains that held him could not stop the palace that was waiting for him. And when the time came, Pharaoh himself sent for him. When God opened the door, there was no force in Egypt that could keep it shut. This is the kind of breakthrough that is coming to you. A door so divinely opened that no man, no system, and no enemy can deny it. There were people who thought they had the power to stop you. They spoke against you, they worked against you, and they did everything to block your progress. But what they did not know is that they were only pushing you closer to God's appointed time. Every setback was a setup. Every delay was a preparation. Every rejection was redirection. And now the moment has arrived. What was once withheld is being released. You will no longer have to force your way in. The door will open before you arrive. You will not have to beg for opportunities. Opportunities will search for you. The places where you were once denied access will now send for you, because when God's favor is upon you, no one can ignore you. This is why you must stop worrying about who is against you and focus on who is for you. If God is for you, who can be against you? This door is not just about your personal breakthrough. It is about a generational shift. The move that is happening in your life will not only bless you, but will bless your family, your children, and those connected to you. It will open doors for others through you. It will establish your legacy. And because it is a God-ordained door, it will not close. It will remain open for as long as God has willed it to be. You are stepping into a season where every force that opposed you will be silenced. Every lie spoken against you will be proven false. Every enemy who mocked your journey will witness your elevation. What was once impossible is now happening because God has declared it so. The waiting is over, the struggle is breaking, and the access that was once denied is now being granted. Walk boldly through the door God has opened. Do not question it, do not doubt it, do not shrink back. This is your moment. No one can shut what God has opened. No one can steal what God has prepared for you. No one can stop what God has started in your life. Get ready, because this divine move is unstoppable. When God blesses, He does not bless temporarily. He does not give and take away on a whim. What He establishes is eternal, unshakable, and overflowing. This is not just a moment of breakthrough. It is a permanent shift into divine abundance. What you are stepping into is not fleeting success, not seasonal favor, but a lasting establishment in God's provision, prosperity, and power. Many people experience temporary blessings because they rely on human effort, connections, or worldly strategies. But when God is the source of your blessing, it cannot be revoked. When He lifts you, no one can pull you down. When He plants you, no storm can uproot you. This is a forever blessing, one that will outlive you and continue for generations to come. Look at Abraham. God did not just bless him, He made him a father of nations. What started as a personal promise became a generational covenant. That is what God is doing in your life. This is not just about what you will receive, but about the legacy you will leave. Your children and your children's children will walk in the overflow of what God is establishing through you right now. This is why the struggle was so intense. This is why the waiting was so long. Because what God is giving you is not temporary, it is eternal. You are not just receiving a breakthrough, you are being positioned as a pillar in God's kingdom. The wealth of wisdom, favor, and increase that is coming to you will not dry up. The doors that are opening will remain open. The opportunities that are coming will not be stolen. The connections God is giving you will be divinely protected. What He has prepared for you will stand the test of time. This is why you must walk in confidence. Stop fearing loss. Stop worrying about whether this season of blessing will fade away. God does not do temporary work. He does eternal work. The enemy may try to distract you, but he cannot undo what God has permanently sealed. What has been written in heaven concerning your life cannot be erased. This is not just about you, it is about God's glory being revealed through you. The abundance you will experience is not just for personal comfort. It is so that God's name will be glorified through your life. Your testimony will inspire others to believe. Your increase will be a witness to those who doubted. Your success will be a reflection of God's faithfulness. When the world sees what God has done in your life, they will know it was not by luck, not by human effort, but by divine appointment. And because God has established this blessing, no man, no circumstance, and no attack of the enemy can reverse it. You are stepping into a new realm of unstoppable favor. No longer will you live in cycles of struggle and momentary success. From today forward, you are planted in the richness of God's provision. You are walking in divine increase. You are experiencing blessings that will never run dry. You are forever established in God's abundance, and your life will be a testament to His everlasting glory. Now is the time to rise up in faith and take hold of what God has already declared over your life. No more waiting, no more doubting, no more second guessing. The shift has already happened. What was once delayed is now being delivered. What was once held back is now being released. What seemed impossible is now your reality. Walk boldly into this new season. Do not shrink back. Do not let fear rob you of what God has already secured. This is your divine moment, your appointed time, your established blessing. No man can stop it. No enemy can block it. No force in hell can undo it. The richness of God is upon you, spiritually, mentally, financially, and generationally. You are no longer striving, you are thriving. You are no longer in lack, you are in abundance. You are no longer waiting, you are walking in the fulfillment of God's promises. So go forth with confidence, knowing that what God has opened, no man can shut. What He has started in your life, He will complete. What He has blessed, no one can curse. Your life is now a testimony of His power, His love, and His unshakable faithfulness. The wait is over. Step into your destiny and never look back.